This child is in a pose that more than likely she doesn't understand. She doesn't know what it means to be sexy. She doesn't know what it means to attract men. But she will spend the rest of her life fighting for a shred of self-esteem that comes from something more than what she looks like. I'm here today to warn of the progressive nature of pornography and to show how it relates to the deterioration of self and family. I'm going to do this by first talking about sexualization in the media, second, pornography addiction, and third, its effects on self and the family. Media these days know that sex sells. I could show you hundreds of examples, but I've decided to choose one. These are ads for Burger King. The suggestive and sensual nature of these ads makes it so that it's attention-getting. It grabs the eye. I had the opportunity recently to go to WNL and hear a guest speaker, and she said, when people see women in the media, this is men and women like this, they learn to judge beauty based on what they see. Second, I'm going to talk to you about pornography addiction. How big is this industry, really? Well, I'll tell you. It's $57 billion worldwide and $12 billion in the US. That is bigger than CBS, NBC, and ABC all combined. 25% of daily searches on search engines are for pornography and adult websites. The ratio of men to women is 72% male and 28% female. Every third person that views pornography is a woman. This is different from 5 years ago. 5 years ago, the ratio was 1 in 6. Whether you're taking drugs or viewing pornography, the addiction process is the same. How can this be, you may wonder? I'll tell you. When you view pornography, it stimulates your brain and releases oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine. And these may give you that buzz, that feeling of excitement. But as you continue to fill your brain with these chemicals, your brain rewires to get used to that level of dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. And then it becomes dependent on that level of those chemicals. And so you search out for more and more erotic things. And sometimes pornography isn't enough. Now I'm going to talk about the effects on self and the family. Let's talk about the self. When women see pornography, as I was talking about last week when we were talking about Zenzele, women see themselves in pornography. They care more about the logistics of sex. They want to be touched. They want to be loved. They want to be caressed. That is why franchises such as 50 Shades of Grey have become so pertinent. 50 Shades of Grey is a pornography series about a woman who has a passionate love affair with a man who acts out sexually violent things to her. And she needs to learn to love it because she feels like she has to. Now, its effects on men. Men in pornography are shown to be unfeeling, animalistic. They are told, if you have an urge, go for it. And so together, the women are made to be objects, and the men are made to be animals. Now I'm going to talk about family. Infidelity rate in the United States is up 300% because of pornography use. 56% of divorces involve at least one person who has issues with pornography. It destroys family not only because it makes the person who views pornography less interested in relationships romantically, but also in their children. It makes family disappear. I could talk to you about my experiences. I've had quite a few people who I care about who have involved themselves in pornography, but I won't. Instead, at this time, I would like to introduce you to my best friend and sister who suffered much longer than I ever could have, Melody Harrison Bergman.
I'm Melody. I'm 33. I have 2 beautiful children, and I was married to a porn addict for 10 years. I knew him for 4 years. We were best friends. We married in the temple. He was a returned missionary. Our first year of marriage, I found dirty pictures on the computer, and I thought my marriage was over. My life was over. But he told me he was getting help, and I forgave him, and we moved on. 4 years later, our first son was born, and I found out about the first affair. It was a year long. It was just online, he said. He lured her with pictures of himself on our honeymoon at the beach. Again, we went for help. He said he was getting better. I believed him. As Rebecca has pointed out, it's like a drug. It requires a bigger hit each time to get the same high. So things got worse and worse. And instead of healing and getting better like he said he was, he just worked harder to hide it. There were massage parlors. There were an array of terrible things. But eventually, it ended up that he flew my 2 small boys and me across the country to get us out of the way so that he could be with his mistress, who was also married, to be in our home together. He met her on an online dating site for married people, dedicated to organizing extramarital affairs, where he had an active profile. I didn't even know there were such things. Pornography destroys families. I've dedicated my life from now on to educating the public, to speaking in public places, to organizing a forum for women like me who I was married for 10 years and didn't tell anyone what was happening till I left. But now I will. And I want to help others. We organized a forum a year ago, and there are 284 registered members, women like me, who are now getting help.
Thank you, Melody. Melody is a testament to me that help can be found, that there is hope. Some counter-arguments. Pornography relaxes. This is true. When you're stressed out, it's an easy thing to look for pornography because of all the dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin that is released in the brain. And it also is also an emotional fulfillment. We as humans crave companionship. And this means that you have to go out into the world, look for someone to date, get to know them, start to actually care about them, put your heart on the line and expect that it won't get shot. So why on earth would you put yourself through all of that trial and hardship if you can just open your book or turn on your computer? So pornography is a sickness. What can we do? Don't keep secrets. Pornography breeds in secret. The world would have you believe that pornography is exciting, only if it's kept secret. Talk to your family. Talk to your friends. We need to get this out there. We need to bring it to the surface so that we can fight it in a fair fight. And most importantly, every single one of you in this room will hopefully be a parent one day. Talk to your children about pornography. Don't expect that it will disappear or it won't come up, because by the time you get to the point where, ooh, maybe I should talk to my children about pornography, they've already seen it. Don't keep secrets. Any questions?
So you said by the time they're a certain age, what age do you think would be a good time to talk to children about pornography?
Thank you for that question. Actually, my sister, as you've met, has started dedicating her life to educating people about pornography. And there's actually, for those of you who've heard about Safety Kids, it's a program for children so that they can learn through cute little songs what to do and what not to do. Don't talk to strangers, don't put your hand on a hot burner, make sure you stay out of the kitchen when mom and dad are working. And there's a new one that's come out recently that's called Turn It Off. If you start feeling that feeling inside, turn it off. So I would suggest that from day one, don't tell them everything, but at appropriate ages, explain to them what it is and that they should be afraid of it and stay away from it, and tell them why. I think an appropriate age would be between 8 and 10, because 9 is about the age when children start hitting puberty and they start getting curious. So make sure that they know by then, why pornography is evil. Anything else?
Yeah, you said that infidelity has increased 300%. Is that in the last 5 years or in the last 10 years?
I think it's in the last 5 years.
Okay.
Roger.
You talked about the serotonin and dopamine that are released in the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Are those chemicals specific to pornography use, or is someone engaged in an active sexual lifestyle? Can they develop those as well?
They develop those as well, but since there are chemicals that are connecting to another human being, because those same chemicals are released when you participate in intercourse. But because of the oxytocin that is in your brain with the person that you're participating in it with, you gain a connection to the person, and they're doing the same thing to you.
As opposed to an object.
As opposed to an object or a picture that can't feel.
What effect does this have in the same-sex marriage challenges?
I didn't research much of the same-sex marriage or challenges, so I wouldn't know. I know of a few people who I care about who have involved themselves in gay porn, and it's interesting because people who involve themselves in non-female related pornography, if they do it because they don't want to disrespect the woman. And so, since they see themselves as, let's say, a man viewing a man acting out with a man, they don't have to worry about disrespecting a woman. But other than that, I'm not sure. Anyone else?
Okay, so we know how harmful this is, but what would you recommend for someone who is having a problem with pornography, whether it's themselves or someone they love, that ultimately isn't, getting the divorce situation?
Exactly. Like I said, don't keep secrets. I know of quite a few people who I love who have kept it a secret, and I can tell you now that I've had a couple of stints with pornography, and Melody was my support. I didn't keep it a secret from Melody, and because of that, I got out of a very dangerous situation, a situation where I had a crossroads. I could have either gone down that path, but because of her help, I was able to get out of it. So my number one piece of advice: find a support group, and don't keep secrets from them, no matter how ashamed you are. Dr. Rodriguez?
Where did the 300% statistic come from?
A website.
The website. Okay.
Okay. Now I have warned of the progressive nature of pornography and shown its damaging effects on self and the family. But, more than likely, there's somebody in this room who's experiencing this in one way or another, whether it be a loved one or themselves. And so for you, I would say, you're not alone, and never give up.